That was the time not too long ago when I was thinking about golf every single day. I was an 8.3 handicap 14-year-old golfer, practicing once a month. He plays after tournaments. I was drowning in video games. I had no clear goals and felt like I was wasting my life. Just starting high school, I thought I had years to choose of what I wanted to become. And then, the more time passed, the more I was left wondering where I went wrong. I thought I'd go the traditional paths. However, it didn't take long to realize that this wasn't for me. Today I was in my room, watching Tiger Woods highlights, then staring at the wall, and I thought, that could be me. And I wondered, why am I not out there practicing? Before I knew it, my social feeds were full of people my age winning. I knew it was time to make a change. No one was coming to save me. No one was going to give me a hand out. And if I wanted a different life, I had to go out there. Some people hear the word golf and immediately roll their eyes, thinking it's not a sport and it's easy. But let me tell you something. If you think golf is easy, then you're fooling yourself. For years I've wallowed in dreams of becoming the world number one, but this changed today. This means breaking free from the narratives and beliefs that have been holding me back. I started practicing every day with no exception, and immersed myself to learn more, devouring every resources I could find. I wasn't just absorbing the information, but I was applying it, solidifying my habits. I knew it was time to push myself further. I made the decisions to cut out all distractions, completely isolating myself and dedicating every waking moment to create something new. Every day, I followed the same routine. As soon as I finished school, I would either hit either my home simulator or go to the range for 2 hours, sometimes even 3 or 4 hours straight. This wasn't just a one-day burst of effort, it became my life for the whole month. I didn't go out with my friends, barely play games, and glued myself to the club. My focus narrowed down to one thing and one thing only, making this dream a reality. There were no weekends and no day off, just the same cycle over and over again. The day finally arrived, my first tournament in months. This was the moment. Everything was supposed to change. I had poured every ounce of my energy into golf, and now it was time to see if it would all pay off. I have to tell you that I shot a win par, but in reality, that's not how it went. The first day, I sliced every drive. The second day, the pattern continued. But instead of letting myself get discouraged, I looked for ways to improve. My driving and irons were weak. I decided to go back and analyze my swing. I had an outside in club pass, so I took a risk and went along with it, hitting fades and cuts instead of draws. It wasn't the exclusive classes I fantasized about, but it was real progress. After attempting to fix my swing myself for a while, and messing up my swing in the progress, I decided it was time to go to my coach. I knew my weaknesses was in my drive, so I took a risk and completely dropped my short game. It was a gamble, one I was willing to take, and for a moment, it paid off. Slowly but surely, I started shooting lower scores. It wasn't the exclusive success I had fantasized about, but it was real progress. By the end of day 11, I started hitting balls again. It was a milestone that changed everything. My drives got more consistent and were finally popping off. I was ecstatic, of course, but I wasn't about to get comfortable. The first thing I did was dedicating 90% of my time trying to remember the feel. By now, I've already played a few courses, and I knew it was working. Once I got a taste of this freedom, I got sick with 2B. Demoted to practice, I slept. After a few days, I had to go on a school trip, meaning I wouldn't be able to practice for a few more days. After finally being back, I was hit with flu A. My days were starting to become blue off the club, long sessions, and my draws. I was weak, and after watching Bryson DeChambeau, I knew I had to do something. So that's exactly what I did. I got back into my routine stronger than ever, running a few miles a day, lifting weights 5 days a week, and then dividing into my club. Once again, I've lost the feeling of success. The truth is, This is what being a golfer really looks like. After I started to extend my 30 days, completely skipping the absence day to reach my full potential. The vast majority of successful golfers have walked a similar path. One where discipline outshines talents. I knew that every session was bringing me one step closer to my goal of becoming a scratch golfer. After a few days of practicing, I knew that I was more than ready for the tournament coming soon. Since I figured out it was validation, I needed to prove that all those training had been worth it. I need to shoot under 80 by the end of the 30 days. But even then, I knew that it would be only another step in the journey. Then I crossed the 80s mark. Truthfully, this was not a milestone I expected to hit, but this shows all the work put in. Although with that said, I'm not here to pat myself on the back or pretend I have it all figured out. There's a lot of people out there shooting this consistently. When you let these things in, it humbles you. Sure, it sounds flashy, but does this really mean anything if you can't win any tournaments? I realized that crossing this milestone didn't make me feel any different. I wasn't suddenly successful, nor did I get anything in return. The truth is, this is just a small milestone if I can't replicate it. What truly mattered though was the confidence it gave me. I realized how far behind I still am, meaning that I have to pick up the pace.